Took all of about 15 minutes to do that, which was a lot easier than doing it by hand, obviously. I am sweating though, because I had to keep like shoveling it all into piles. But now all the rubble's gone, we can start thinking about leveling it off a bit and then ordering in some shingle to go over the top. But I'm gonna have a bit of a tidy up anyway, make this place look a little bit more presentable and a bit more homely, I suppose. So another thing that I need to do is I need to dig a hole at around about 2 meters from where the front of the house is going to be. The reason for that is that this is where our toilet is located on the house, and if we dig a big hole in the ground here and fill it with shingle, we can actually run our liquid tank straight into the ground and then it will just drain naturally. I did look it up online and I think it needs to be at least 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters and 50 centimeters deep, and you also can't be within 10 meters of a watercourse, I think, which is absolutely fine because there's no watercourses around here for ages anyway. But this is the kind of thing that we weren't allowed to do at the campsite, obviously, so we had to rely on filling up the tank and emptying the tank. But doing things like this, it's not only going to make our lives a lot easier, but it also means that we're not going to be putting harmful chemicals in the ground or anything like that. So we need to dig a big hole around about here, approximately 2 foot deep, and I'm hoping that I've done the measurements right because I don't want to be doing this twice. Right, so here's our hole. I'm not sure if it's quite deep enough. I might dig it up a little bit more another time, but that's the general idea. So front of the house will be here, and then the toilet will be there, and then hopefully it will go down there and drain away nicely and not leave any unpleasant smells. Well, that's the idea anyway. It's also really difficult to know how level this is without using a spirit level or anything, because we're on a natural hill anyway. It's quite handy, the camera's got a thingy on it, so that's dead level, so it's quite a bit to go. I'm not really too sure if I've leveled that out enough or not yet, but I guess we'll wait and see, I suppose. As long as the wheels are dead level, then the 4 corners we can just like adjust manually anyway. So the most important thing is to get that strip in the middle perfectly level, and then the house won't be like tilting on the wheels or anything because you can't adjust those. And then yeah, it should be pretty good. I'm going to come back another day though. I think the shingle is going to take a week to arrive, so I won't get that done this week. I will come back before then though, and then obviously once the shingle's down we can level it a bit with that anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just got to make sure the wheels are. It's also really handy as well because the soil underneath is actually really good soil. You could dig it up and use it in like flower beds and stuff. There's no like flint in there, there's no chalk in there, it's not clay, like it's really good soil. So what we could do is just like dig a big hole, take all the soil out, use that in like flower beds or something, and then just fill it up with rubbish. Well, not rubbish, but like stones and stuff. Still got about 4 weeks to go until we can get the house moved anyway, so plenty of time. But yeah, it's all good. Spirit level. Good to go at the back. So I just want to see how level this ground actually is. That's pretty level, to be honest with you. I'm going to use this bit of timber just as a straight edge to make my spirit level a bit longer. So I've got to come up around about 2 inches down the hill, or if I go down about 2 inches, that might work quite well. So basically now I've got to do this along the whole thing to get it all level. Right, so from this hammer to the level, this is where the two axles are going to go for the wheels. So this is the most important bit to get level, because that way the house won't be tilted either way. Either side of this doesn't really matter too much, but this centerpiece here, this is the bit that needs to be good. So this is where we're up to at the moment. Obviously you can see where the house is going to go, and this is pretty much level, to be honest. I think I might have to run the stones out onto there because that still kind of dips down a bit, but I guess we'll kind of like play around with that. I'm going to tackle this fence and this foliage and everything in a minute, tidy that up a bit and make it look a little bit neater, I suppose. But yeah, it really feels like we're getting somewhere, so happy days. Nice new fence exposed, all tidied up, picture's looking good. I think we're pretty much ready for shingle as well now. I mean, it still looks a bit of a mess down there, but I think come winter it'll be a lot easier to sort that out. I'm going to wrap up this video anyway because I feel like there's not really much more we can do at the moment until the shingle arrives, and that's not going to be until next week anyway, so there's not really much else to do here. I've got a really busy week next week though, because I'm volunteering at a golf tournament all week, so like 7 days in a row, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I might be able to swing back here and do some of the shingle afterwards because it's only like a morning thing, but I guess we'll kind of see what happens. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a massive thumbs up if you did. Make sure you come back next time for a bit of shingle action or a stealth camp, whichever comes first. But until then, have a safe drive, make sure you stay alive, have a lovely day, and don't spill your custard.